Have you ever felt like you understand people deeply, but at the same time, you feel a little different from everyone else? Like you see patterns, emotions, and hidden meanings that others seem to miss? Sometimes it makes you feel strong, but other times, it makes you feel alone. Well, if that sounds familiar, you might relate to the INFJ personality type, which is often described as rare, complex, and quietly powerful. Today, I want to talk about something that might surprise you. There are actually many well-known people, both in history and in modern times, who are believed to share this same personality. When you look at their lives, their struggles, and their achievements, you start to realize that being different is not a weakness. It can actually be your greatest strength. Let's go through this like a story, not just a list. These people didn't just exist, they made an impact. And they did it in a very INFJ way. Starting with Mahatma Gandhi, who led a nation not through violence, but through quiet strength and strong beliefs. If you think about it, that's very INFJ. Instead of forcing change, he influenced people through ideas, values, and deep conviction. Then you have Martin Luther King Jr., who used words, vision, and emotional connection to move millions of people. His speeches were not just powerful, they were full of meaning, empathy, and a clear vision for a better future. That is something INFJs are known for. They don't just see the world as it is. They imagine what it could be, and they work toward that vision, even when it's difficult. Speaking of vision, let's talk about Nelson Mandela. He spent years in prison, but came out with forgiveness instead of anger. That level of emotional control and long-term thinking really stands out. INFJs often focus on the bigger picture, not just the moment. Now, let's move to more modern and creative personalities, like Lady Gaga. She is known not just for her music, but for her message, her advocacy, and her connection with people who feel different or misunderstood. If you listen to her interviews, you'll notice that she speaks with depth, emotion, and purpose, not just entertainment. That's another INFJ trait. They want their work to mean something. Then there's Taylor Swift, who is often recognized for her storytelling, emotional awareness, and ability to turn personal experiences into songs that millions relate to. That ability to translate feelings into something creative is very common in INFJs. They process emotions deeply, and they often express them through writing, music, or art. Now, let's look at someone from psychology, Carl Jung. He is the person who actually helped develop the idea of personality types, including introversion and intuition. While personality typing systems today are more modern, Jung's work still influences how we understand human behavior. It's interesting to see that someone who studied the human mind so deeply is also believed to have a personality that values insight, reflection, and meaning. Now, let's be honest for a moment. Being an INFJ is not always easy. When you look at these people, you'll notice a pattern. Many of them faced pressure, criticism, or isolation at some point in their lives. When you think differently, not everyone will understand you. That can be frustrating, especially when you care deeply about people and want to make a positive impact. But here's the important part. These individuals didn't stop. They used that feeling of being different as fuel, not as an excuse. That's something you can learn from. Whether or not you fully believe in personality types, the traits associated with INFJ, like empathy, vision, and strong values, are real skills that can be developed and used in everyday life. You don't have to be famous to use them. You can use them in your work, in your relationships, and in how you handle challenges. If you see yourself in these traits, it means you are likely good at understanding people and seeing long-term outcomes. But it also means you need to protect your energy. Set boundaries. Don't try to fix everyone. That's a common trap and it leads to burnout. Instead of trying to be everything for everyone, focus on where you can actually make a difference, even if it's small. Be honest with yourself. Not everyone will appreciate your depth, and that's okay. The right people will. And when they do, your ability to connect, understand, and guide becomes very powerful. If you look back at the people we talked about, they didn't try to be like everyone else. They stayed consistent with who they were, even when it was hard. That consistency is what made them stand out, Not just their talent, but their mindset. Maybe that's the real message here. Being different is not the problem. Not knowing how to use it is. Once you understand your strengths and accept your limits, you stop fighting yourself. You start moving forward with more clarity, more control, and more purpose. This is your reminder. You are not too much. You are just wired differently. If you use that wisely, it can take you further than you think. Thanks for watching. If this conversation resonated with you, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I am currently working toward my goal of 1,000 subscribers, so I can finally monetize this channel and turn this passion into a sustainable part of my future. This is my unfiltered diary of solo living in the Philippines, from the long days in the ESL classroom to my journey as a beginner learning Japanese and Korean. Your support helps me build my retirement fund and keeps this channel growing. If you'd like to help out even more, you can check out the Buy a Treat for My Pets link in the description. My dogs definitely appreciate the love. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the next update. Thank you for being such an important part of this journey. I'll see you in the next one.